Well, this is the review of the Bushcraft Essentials stove. This is the Bushcraft Essentials set, if you like. You get a nice Condora pouch to go here to put all the stove in. It's pretty well made. You kind of got belt loops on there and an attachment if you wanted to attach it to the outside of your bag. All in all, the packaging of the sheath is really well made. Really can't fault it. It's nicely stitched and it'll certainly last a lot of years. Inside the pack, you get the stove itself. And this one's quite easily set up, quite easily to make yourself. And I'm just going to put it together here now. Show you what you get. Angle this down so you can see. And zoom in a bit. So if you look, I get a couple of sides. There's the sides. That's obviously the front because it's got a door there. And then your back. So we're going to put all this together now. It all clips in quite good, quite nice. For anyone who's watching, I was using this on the camping video I did. You get your ash pan, which is your first one that goes in, and then you get your bottom, your base, and that ensures that you don't leave any kind of environmental impact, if you like. No scouldering on the ground, which was a great feature on this stove. So it doesn't leave a footprint on the mark by having the extra plate in there. All the ash will gather and collect on that harder solid surface. We like that. On goes your front door, like so, and it clicks into place. Now, additionally, the stove does come with a small grill that literally you've got some cutouts for, and you can see that you can use a grill on the stove itself. So there's the stove with the grill on, with the grill off. This is going to be out of a small grill, probably one beef burger if you were lucky on that. But it's still a good feature, I think, to have on the stove, because I've actually later on I shall try and roast a few nuts on that and just see whether I can roast some wild nuts that I pick up. You never know your luck. It also comes with these. Now this will either make the your pot stand a lot better, or you can raise it slightly. If you turn them around, it slightly raises it to give you a bit of airflow in underneath your pot, like so. Stainless steel and literally weighs absolutely nothing in your pouch. It's made by bushcraftessentials.com, and it is all of it's made in Germany, so you kind of know that the engineering on this stove's pretty good. Goes without saying, the quality of it is second to none. Germany, unfortunately, just seem to knock out the bestest stuff these days when it comes to stoves like this, and they really are leading the industry in the market for a lot of bushcraft kit at the moment. I think all the other countries need to really catch up with them. You can tell this is just absolutely solid when it's set up. We'll have a go at lighting it and boiling a bit of water off in it. First thing to do is to take these off. It makes it easier for feeding the wood into. This is a wood burning stove. Now how you light this stove is entirely up to you. You can go for it the whole bushcraft style with natural tinders if you want to. Me, I'm just going to use a fire lighter, and then that way the twigs that I've got are not that dry, so I'm hoping a fire lighter will work well. These ain't the best of firelighters neither. I've had them for quite a while. But once my stove's mainly lit, I just start piling on me fuel. And in this case, it's just twigs that I've found. You really want to find kind of pencil stick size stuff, really. The stuff I'm putting in is a little bit thick for this. Not that good. You can always tell if it's a good stick because it will snap. You can hear it snap. If it doesn't snap, it means it's still quite green, it won't burn. Just going to let the stove develop now. What I can do now is just start easing in a couple of bigger sticks like this, just to start drying out their ends. In a minute I shall get the supports on, and quite easily then be dropped into place without burning your hands. I'm going to set these quite high. I've already got some water, I've filtered it from the river. The bottle. Now ideally I'd put a lid on my cup. I haven't got one. And I don't want it quite boiling anyway because I'm going to have a hot chocolate. My actual water now is at a rolling boil. Try and bring you in. Show you. Not sure if you can pick that up. The water is boiling now. Probably 3.5–4 minutes to get that amount of water to boil. I'm not into this actual science, as long as it's a cup and a drinkable cup. So I've got some pretty hot water there, and that's going to make me a nice hot chocolate in a minute. Now the stove itself, whenever you get stoves like this, take your fuel source out, and you can kind of just put that out. And let them go out naturally. You could take that fuel with you if you wanted to. Stoves like this, you're better off just letting it cool off and burn down naturally. While you sit there and drink your tea or whatever, anything that you've just cooked on it, just let the stove go out on its own. Don't add no more fuel and cool off. A common mistake people make with stoves like this is they're tempted to get their water bottle and put them out and chuck water over them, and you don't want to do that. You can warp the steel, as you would on any kind of steel, not just a stove. We actually tested it once on a knife. We didn't think it had no effect until we realised that it had slightly warped the knife. It was a cheap knife, luckily enough. All in all, Bushcraft Essentials stove. It's got to be probably one of the best stoves I've used. Now, I've been using it since kind of Christmas just before Christmas, and I've got to say I've been really impressed with it. It's kind of replaced other stoves I had in my bag, and that one's now in there. I will leave all the links in the description box below, and if you've got any questions on the stove or you'd like to ask me any questions, I'll be more than happy to help. So that's my review on the Bushcraft Essentials. Bushcraft Essentials, or bushcraftessentials.com. Field stove. This is the field stove kit. Retail price. It's one of the cheaper ones on the market. I think it's around £20, £25, something like that. Don't quote me on it. One of the cheaper stoves on the market. You can still feel the heat on it. It's lovely. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review of the Bushcraft Essentials field stove. I'm going to go off and have my hot chocolate. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Hot chocolate. It's worth carrying in your bag just so you can have a really hot chocolate.